What's up, YouTube? Welcome back for another NFL offseason video. Today, we got the NFC South. Today. So, we'll be going over each team's offseason, their draft, free agency, how we're going to project how they're going to do this next upcoming season. We'll take a look at their depth charts, and we'll give a little prediction at the end and how these teams will stack up at the end in their own division, respectively. So, first team, we'll start off, the Bucks. Now, the Bucks is an exciting team that has been kind of taking control of the NFC South for like the last few years, ever since Tom Brady, honestly. So, they've been a team that's been kind of built weird, honestly. Like, no one saw Baker Mayfield being this good, and good for him, man. Turned around his career. So, we'll start off with their draft picks. In the first round, they took Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver out of Ohio State. Now, this pick really solidifies their wide receiver room. It's low-key kind of stacked, that receiving room. You got the likes of Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Emeka Egbuka, Jalen McMillan. They got Trey Palmer there, and they got good depth. Sterling Shepard, too. So, a lot of good guys in that room. It's only going to help Baker Mayfield out a ton. In the second round, they took Benjamin Morrison. This addressed their other need. Their other need were secondary and edge rushers, and we'll see if they address those needs. Of course, the second round, they took Benjamin Morrison, quarterback out of Notre Dame. He's a really talented corner. His highest completion percentage that he gave up in college was 38.5%, so that's really good. Lined up across him would probably be Jamal Dean, and like Jamal Dean, both these guys have suffered from injuries in the past. Will they be able to stay healthy? That'll be the concern here. They needed more depth piece in the cornerback room, and they added some more throughout the draft in the third round. And then the rest of the picks were mostly depth pieces. The seventh round, though, it was the next notable name in Tez Johnson, a receiver out of Oregon. So he got picked up. He's the smallest. He's officially the smallest guy in the league right now. So kind of crazy, 5'10", 154 pounds. And yeah, now taking a look at their free agency moves. They addressed the issue with pass rusher by, I think they signed. Yeah, they signed Hassan Reddick, edge rusher. He was previously with the Jets, I want to say, and he just didn't play at all last year. So, interesting move. We'll see what goes on with him this year. He'll be lined up with Vita Vea, Kalijah Kancey, and that's a pretty good D line overall. And that's really the only notable free agency signing they had. I mean, they just re-signed a bunch of guys. They re-signed Chris Godwin, Ben Bredesen. I'm not even trying. They re-signed their guard, and they also re-signed Levante David. Now, take a look at their depth chart. They're running it back. You got Baker Mayfield, high-powered offense. You got Bucky Irvin in the running back room. The running back room they got depth. They got depth in that room as well. They got Rashad Wright. They got Sean Tucker. And those guys, they're all pretty good. Like I mentioned, the wide receiver room is stacked. They still have K-Dot and another receiving weapon. And the O-line. The O-line has actually been kind of solid for them. It's been working out for them. Led by Tristan Wirfs, left tackle, is one of the best left tackles in the league right now. And they've been building it throughout the years, and I think it's been working out for them. And then take a look at the defense. The defensive line is looking pretty solid. You know, you got Vita Vea, Kalijah Kancey. Now you added Hassan Reddick. And then you still have young developing players such as Yaya Diaby. Yeah, and the linebacker room is so strong. You got still Levante David. We'll see how much more he has left in the tank. And then you also got Anthony Walker Jr. Secondary is a big concern for them. Yeah, I mean, you got Jamal Dean. They just drafted Benjamin Morrison. They could use a little bit more help. That's why they got Shiloh Sanders, the savior of the Bucs secondary, right? Nah, I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But they still got Antoine Winfield Jr. there, so he's definitely a huge piece there. The Bucs are shaping themselves to be a problem for the league this year, or at least good enough to run it back in the NFC South. So it's looking good. They're kind of keeping their core pieces. We'll see if they'll still be able to hold on to the NFC South title. Next team, we have the ever-improving Falcons chasing the Bucs, trying to take that lead from the Bucs. A few questions for the Falcons this past offseason included what are they going to do with the pass rush, how are they going to improve the secondary, pretty much the defense, how are they going to help their new young franchise quarterback in Michael Penix, and what are they going to do with Kirk Cousins? So, First, let's take a look at their draft picks. In the first round, they decided to take Jalen Walker, linebacker out of Georgia, who's actually going to be one of their edge rushers this upcoming season. He's a really good, talented edge rusher. I think he's definitely going to help out this team in pass rushing. But this wasn't the only move they made. They actually traded up with the Rams and took James Pierce Jr., defensive end out of Tennessee. So they kind of took two edge rushers here. They kind of double stacked. So I kind of like that move. I kind of like these two are really good, young, talented edge rushers. And in a draft class that has talented edge rushers, might as well take it. So, and I mean, the only concern with James Pierce is this like character issues. I mean, off the field issues. So we'll see how he's able to handle that. I mean, I don't know. I just based on talent alone, he was a good pick. In the third round, they selected Xavier Watts. He's a really good safety out of Notre Dame. I thought he was going to go higher in the third round, but yeah, the Falcons didn't re-sign veteran safety Justin Simmons, so they got to fill that hole and decided to go with a young, talented safety in Xavier Watts. And he's going to be playing alongside Jesse Bates, so that's going to help him out a ton. And that's pretty much the big names coming out of the draft for the Falcons. Now, taking a look at their off-season signings. They didn't really sign anyone very impactful. They did sign Leonard Floyd, another edge rusher. They're really honing in on the pass rush here this offseason. They other than that, they just signed a bunch of depth pieces. Taking a look at this team's depth chart, they're going to have their franchise quarterback, Michael Penix, in his second year. Looks like Kirk Cousins might be taking up a backup quarterback role this year with the Falcons. Running back room still strong, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier. Wide receiver room, Drake London, Darnell Mooney actually balled out last year. And they also have Ray McLeod. Other than that, it's pretty solid. You got some young receivers in that wide receiver room as well that could probably step up big time. They still got Kyle Pitts, and they may trade him. It sounds like they're leaning towards trading him. So we'll see what comes out of that. And the offensive line, it's still, I know they lost Drew Dahlman and some other pieces, but it's still looking pretty good with Jake Matthews, Matthew Bergeron, Chris Lindstrom, and Caleb McGarry. So not too bad. They were actually played pretty good last year. Take a look at the defense. They got a young defensive line. They drafted a defensive tackle in the second round out of Clemson. I'm not even going to try to say his name, but he's number one on the depth chart, so he's going to be getting a lot of minutes. They also got James Pierce and, of course, Jalen Walker. Leonard Floyd might actually be starting for this team. They might put Jalen Walker. We'll see where they put Jalen Walker. He's a very versatile defensive piece. As far as the secondary, AJ Terrell, Jesse Bates. I would expect Xavier Watts probably eventually take the other, the starting free safety role. They also got Mike Hughes and then D. Alford in the nickel back. So this team, I think it kind of depends on where Michael Penix is in his development. If he takes a big step up, this team's going to be dangerous. And if the pass rush is there, the defense can step up. The secondary can step up. They can get to the quarterback. That'd be huge. I think that'll be good enough to actually surpass the Bucs. But again, I think it all depends on the development of Michael Penix and if he plays good, and if he can take that step up that he needs to, and maybe he'll lead this team to the playoff. I mean, this is a really good offense, and the defense is only getting better. Next team, we got the interesting Panthers. I mean, I don't know what to expect from this team anymore. I mean, they got Bryce Young. He kind of balled out towards the end of the season a little bit. Did he turn around? I guess we'll find out. Did the Panthers help him out at all? I mean, let's take a look. First, let's take a look at their draft picks. In the first round, they decided to take McMillan, a wide receiver out of Arizona. He's definitely has some high upside, and he's definitely going to be helping out Bryce Young a ton. So they added another weapon for Bryce Young. Will he start? I think he definitely will. In the second round, they take a project edge rusher out of Texas A&M and Nick Gordon. Could use some time to develop, but if he's able to round out his game, he'll be a really impactful player. So it kind of depends on his development, but I think it was a good pick. Some people had him falling towards the end of the first round, and the Panthers got him in the second round. So I think that was a good pick up there by the Panthers. In the third round, they took another edge out of Mississippi, out of Ole Miss specifically, in Princely Umanmiele. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that either, bro. I can't pronounce some of these. I'm not even going to try. In the fourth round, they took Trevor Etienne, a running back out of Georgia, the brother of Travis Etienne. So they add more depth to that running back room. They already got Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle. And I know Jonathan Brooks, he's going to be out for another year as he is recovering from ACL injury. I mean, that's tough for him, Jonathan Brooks. So we'll see what happens with him. And other than that, the only other notable name in this draft class is in round 6 when they took Jimmy Horn Jr., wide receiver out of Colorado. And yeah, now take a look at their free agency moves. They signed Tershawn Wharton, the defensive tackle from Kansas City. They also signed Trevon Moehrig, a safety from the Raiders. And then all the other names were mostly depth pieces. I mean, they also signed Rico Dowdle, running back from the Cowboys. And yeah, and then take a look at this team. Looking at this team's depth chart, Bryce Young's still the quarterback. Andy Dalton's the backup. Running back, they got Chuba Hubbard. It's gonna be like a running back by committee, I would assume, but probably led by Chuba Hubbard anyways. Rico Dowdle, Trevor Etienne, still there. And then the wide receivers, they got Adam Thielen. This might be his last year. They signed Hunter Renfrow as well. They got Xavier Legette still. We hope that he can develop. And then they got Jalen Coker. So they got a young wide receiver room. I think they could develop into being something good. We just got to see it. I haven't seen it yet. Xavier Legette could definitely step up, though. I was a big fan of him coming out of South Carolina. So we'll see what happens with him. As far as the O-line is kind of like a hit or miss. They kind of invested a ton with Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis. So we'll see if they're able to improve, protect Bryce Young. As far as the defense became a huge problem when they started trading and letting go a bunch of players. But they still have Derrick Brown. They kind of filled another piece by signing Warren from Kansas City. Edge rushers might be an issue. The best edge rusher is probably Nick Gordon, but they got Josie Jewell and a linebacker. In terms of the secondary, they re-signed J.C. Horn, and they just signed Trevon Moehrig. So, I don't know what to think about this team. I think this defense could definitely use some help. They don't look all that great, and the success of the offense all depends on Bryce Young if he can be consistent, and if the wide receivers can develop into getting separation, getting space, getting open to help Bryce Young. I think they're definitely treading upwards, but it's like a slow trajectory. So I don't think they're there yet to compete for the NFC South, but I still think they're making improvements. So with that being said, they could surprise me and actually improve a ton, or they can be the same. And it's tough for me to pick this team to win some games over some of the other teams in the NFL. So we'll see what happens with them. Next team, we got the New Orleans Saints. And all I have to say is, if you're a Saints fan, I'm so sorry, man. I actually think the Saints might be competing to get the number 1 pick for next year's draft, to draft whoever is going to be the number 1 quarterback next year, whether that be Clay Klubnik or Drew Aller or Arch Manning. So we'll see what happens, man. It's going to be a tough season, I think, for you Saints. But we'll see. Let's go over what this team did to improve. Let's start with the draft. First round, they took Kelvin Banks Jr., offensive tackle out of Texas. And this one, I don't know what to think, because after watching him play against Georgia and getting exposed, I don't know what to think of him. He kind of fell in a lot of people's draft boards, expecting him to fall in the late first round, and he got picked in the top 10 by the Saints. It addresses the need, so we'll see if he can step up and develop and actually improve his game. In the second round, you guys took Tyler Shuck, quarterback out of Louisville. He's more than likely going to be your starting quarterback for this year, according to multiple reports, as Derek Carr did retire. Yeah, Tyler Shuck, I don't know what to think. He got drafted before a lot of players. So the Saints definitely thought of him highly. Let's see if he's able to play well. He could go ahead and surprise a lot of people, because I don't think a lot of people have high expectations for him. So that's the good thing with low expectations, man. It's not that hard to surpass. Let's see what he's able to do. But he will have to compete with Spencer Rattler and Jake Hayner. Yeah. Third round, they took the defensive tackle out of Texas. And other than that, I mean, there's no other big names. I mean, Devin Neal, running back out of Kansas. He's a pretty explosive player. Yeah, other than that, no one notable. Now, taking a look at their free agencies. Their free agency moves. They return the return of Brandon Cooks. Who let him cook? And they also re-signed Justin Reed, the safety. It's just been a whole lot of re-signing. So yeah, I mean those two were the only impactful, notable free agency that they signed. Now take a look at their depth chart. Tyler Shuck, new starting quarterback listed in the depth chart. You still have Alvin Kamara and Miller, and they also have Cam Akers in that running back room. As far as receiver, they got Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, and now Brandon Cooks. So now they got weapons. They just gotta stay healthy. I know Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed was having a good season last year until they both got banged up pretty bad. So they still have Juwan Johnson, another receiving threat, Taysom Hill, a Swiss Army knife on that offense. Now this offensive line, they're pretty young. They've been kind of drafting them the past few years. Kelvin Banks Jr., Trevin Penning, Eric McCoy, Cesar Ruiz, and Talise Fuaga. They might actually not be that bad. They just got to develop them. We'll see how they play. They're young, definitely a young offensive line, and you just hope that they can gel together. Now take a look at defense. They still have Cameron Jordan, a great run stopper. They also got Brian Breesy in there as well. Devon Gotcha, Kenneth Saunders. Yeah, you still got DeMar Davis, Pete Werner. They still have Chase Young. That's the one I was looking for. There he is. Chase Young, he's still there. He hasn't been doing all that too much. Kool-Aid McKinstry in the secondary. Justin Reed line up across with Tyrann Mathieu. And Alontae Taylor on the other side of that corner. Yeah, they did lose, what's his face, to the Giants. What's his face? Paulson Adebo. They did lose Adebo. So, yeah, I mean, after taking a look at that depth chart, they don't look all that bad. It's still going to come out to the quarterback. I mean, he has weapons. Alvin Kamara is a huge weapon. And so is Chris Olave. So he stepped up big time last year. The offensive line might be improved, actually. So, I mean, it's kind of tough to predict. Shoot, man, this is kind of hard. If this team is able to stay healthy, which they're almost, that never happens for them. So, it's kind of tough. They got a lot of old aging vets on that defense. But they also got some young guys in there. But I don't know, man. I don't know if they got what it takes to compete with the NFC South. I think the other teams they have an upwards trajectory, while the Saints is the only one I see having a downwards trajectory. So for that reason, I definitely don't think they're going to be competing for the NFC South this year. I think they'll be trying to put themselves in the race for the number one pick next year. So, I mean, we see that might be my early prediction. So, let's take a look at the NFC South, trying to predict this division for this upcoming season. Let's see. I'll go with the Bucs finishing first. I think their offense might be too much. They have the more proven quarterback for me. Second, I'm going to go with the Falcons. Their quarterback definitely has potential, and they do have explosive playmakers such as Bijan Robinson. Third, I'm going to go with the Panthers, and then fourth, I'm going to finish off with the Saints. So yeah, that's what it's looking like. It's shaping up to be for me so far. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for some more, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.